Hey there, this is Chad from Zombie Fight Shark. Welcome to episode 4 of our grain walkthrough series. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the Modulation Matrix and how to use it. If you're just tuning in, we have previously covered all of the basics, the filters, LFO, all the kind of standard stuff, the effects in grain, and now we're up to the Modulation Matrix, which is a confusing thing for a lot of folks. So we're going to just talk about how you use it, what it can do for you, what it's good for, and maybe get a few people not so scared of it. So here we go. The Modulation Matrix is a little intimidating to look at first, and sort of like looking at a math problem when you don't know how to do the math. But in truth, it's actually really simple. You just have to know what a couple of things mean. So let's explain that. Source and destination. Those are really the two most important things. Once you understand source and destination, then you know how to use the Modulation Matrix. Destination. Let's start there. I want to affect one of the easiest ones that you'll immediately hear is the pitch. So we're gonna switch this to a empty patch, and all we have is the oscillator, and I want the LFO. It's gonna be my source. The destination is gonna be the pitch of that oscillator. So I'll right click, LFO, oscillator, pitch. Okay, so right now it's not doing anything because the amount is 0. So let's change the amount. And there it is. Honestly, that's as simple as it is. It's really not that hard at all. So let's go the other direction because it goes negative. And there you go. So if you're following along, congratulations, you just used the Modulation Matrix. Now, let's say scale. If I want the amount of my pitch bend, which is pretty extreme in this case, to change depending on velocity, then I'm going to go over to scale and then velocity, right? And then it's, so not going to get anything yet because my amount is still 0. So I'm going to boost my amount up and I'm going to play real soft. And when you've got it pumped up this much, sometimes you got to back this off a little bit for it won't make as big a difference as you want it to, but let's see. All right, so just barely touch the note, same note. All right, so one more time. Just barely push the note down, hard. And there you go, that's scale. That's what it means. Like I said, it's not crazy complicated. It is intimidating at first, but destination is the thing that you want to change. And you have, I think where it gets intimidating is there are so many choices. And with grain, there are so many choices. Just a lot of stuff that you can affect. And then source is the thing you're going to affect it with. So let's do another example and we'll load a patch. So I've loaded a Grain Quartet patch, and they've used all of our modulation slots, but they haven't used scale on all of them. They haven't used destination on all of them. So I'm going to use the LFO again because it's an easy example, and let's send that LFO to a different destination. So filter frequency. All right, and there's our filter right there, frequency, and we're going to make it sweep down. All right, so it's already going to the formant, but that's pretty minor. All right, you can hear it sweeping, but just as a reference. There it was before. Okay, so cool. Now, I don't want, for my track, I don't want it to be sweeping that hard all the time. I want intensity levels to change depending on my playing, so I'm adding velocity, and we're going to change the amount. And just FYI, amount can go negative on everything, so it can go negative on velocity too, but we're going positive on this one because when we play soft, we want it to be softer. I want the effect to be softer. When we play hard, we want the effect to be harder. So here we go. I'm going to play soft now. Now I'm going to play hard. Maybe fewer notes. That was soft. Hard. So there you go. Played it soft and played it hard so you can hear the difference. And that's it. That's your modulation matrix. Destination is the thing you want to change. Source is the way you want to change that thing. And then scale is if you want to control how much that change takes effect based on other factors. And there's a lot of scale factors. We just did velocity, but you got all kinds of stuff. And when you start playing with these other scale factors, then you can get some interesting effects and unexpected effects. So I would encourage you to don't ignore that scale column and use it, because you'll get cool stuff happening. So that was it. That's it for the modulation matrix. So now you get to go play with it and modulate the heck out of some patches. So on the next episode, we will finally get to the sample section. So thanks for hanging in there, and the next one's gonna be a long one. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for your eyes and ears on this. I'll see you next time. Cheers.